Cushman, the legend in the plans. Please listen every day to the showcase. The opinions and knowledge that anyone can take. Showing you how it is done. Proving I am number one. What a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans. Not many whose head can understand everything pro wrestling. It can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people. The best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin. The opinion and the lesson. Yes.
Folks, welcome to Everything Pro Wrestling. Everything Pro Wrestling is a show by the fans, for the fans. I am your host, Conrad Cushman, and we are here today with a review of WWE Hell in a Cell 2020, happening October 25th, 2020. We have the full show review and results, and we're going to go over everything that happened on this show. I have a lot to say, and you probably will be surprised by some of the things I'm going to say about this show. So make sure that you guys are locked in and that you guys are in here with us talking about Hell in a Cell. I want your thoughts, and I want you guys to give me your opinions on some of the things that have happened for this show. Craziness on this show. It's going to be a lot of mixed bags of everything in this. So do me a favor, make sure you guys strap in, because we are about to start. But first, we got to start with the intro from my boy Montez. Let's take it away.
Here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson. Yes, everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you.
Folks, thank you so much. You guys got to check out my man Montez, man. Give him a follow on Twitter. I'm telling you, he's also on the WWE Network now. Swerve City Podcast on the WWE Network. Make sure you show him and Isaiah Swerve Scott some love. Absolutely happy for those guys. Appreciate my brothers for that. And I want you guys to be in the chat. Let's get this thing popping, man. Right now, I see D in the house. What's going on, Derek? Derek was supposed to be here for the Impact review yesterday, but Derek had circumstances outside of his hands that he couldn't do that. Rob in the house, what's good, Rob? Jocelyn said that was interesting. All right, I can't wait to hear your thoughts, Jocelyn. Sean Harrington in the house, what's good, Sean? Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, man. Wish I could have been a live guest tonight, but happy to be here. Sean, we're happy to have you here, brother. Like I said, anytime you want to come on, man, let me know. We could try and work something out. Malik Murray is also in the house, man. What is good? What is good? Hell in a Cell. If you guys were here last year, you know where we stand with this, right? The absolute nuttiness, the craziest things happen on this show. And Hell in a Cell has been, for the last 2 years, I will say, like one of those awful shows that you don't look forward to. If you guys remember, 2018, we had the Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman ending where Brock Lesnar came in and interfered, and it was ended in kind of like a no contest. What? Terrible. Last year, the crazy review, Connor sent me like clips of Derek ranting about the entire Bray Wyatt thing with The Fiend and Seth Rollins hitting 30 curb stomps, and then they have a DQ happen in Hell in a Cell. Not a fan of that. This year's, how will it play out? Tune in. Let's talk about it. So tonight's Hell in a Cell, we had a pre-show match that they didn't announce. And people are going to probably say, Conrad, why don't you have graphics for this show if you're watching on YouTube? You just see the plain EPW background. And we just had a new subscriber. Big shout out to Jamie. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate you, Jamie Productions. Thank you. Hopefully that Orange Cassidy was good for you. Let's get into this, though. The premise of the show, why don't you have these beautiful layouts like you do for other places? AEW, we had one for Impact. Because they didn't put time and effort into this card. We only knew about 3 or 4 matches going into this. and they left us kind of hanging. And then they have a pre-show match. Who knew about this? Like, I honestly was going to skip the pre-show, which I mostly did for whatever reason, and they added a match onto this. So they had Drew Gulak versus Truth, and during that time, I was busy. You know, I didn't have any time to deal with it, so it's going to get an NA for me. Truth is the 24/7 champion still. That's all that matters. So there won't be a rating for that when you look at this. I have nothing to say. Sick says, sup, I have so many questions. What's good, Sick? Original Biggie also in the house. Good evening, sir. Happy to have you in here. Ace has joined us as well. What's up, Ace? Yeah, 24/7 championship, no promotion. Pre-show panel, we have Booker T, Jeff Jarrett, Jerry Lawler, Charlie Caruso. I can't remember who else was on the panel. Dude, what is going on? Rosenberg was on there too, I think. Hopefully I didn't forget anybody, but pre-show, what was the point? I'm sorry to say it. So there's no match for it or anything. We got an Ali promo about Retribution, and I heard a line uttered, and I believe it was by Booker T, perhaps, that the fans never cared about Ali. The fans always cared about Ali. I am still a fan of Mustafa Ali. I don't know why this man would play a heel. He designs his gear for kids and sends them the pieces so that they could dress up like him when he was on television before. This man is a natural babyface. What are you doing, WWE? I don't get it. I didn't like the fact that they tried to twist the storyline. It reminded me a lot of Becky Lynch. Like, let's manipulate this storyline and make Ali out to be the bad guy. It ain't working, Chief. Sorry to say. But we've got a lot to talk about within this show. So if you guys are joining me for the first time, you know what I need you guys to do. Come on in here. Do me a favor. Make sure that you guys hit the subscribe button. Just easy. One click helps out, just like Jamie just did. And then if you guys want to be notified anytime we go live, hit the bell. The bell will let you guys know when we go live. We do AEW Dynamite reviews every Wednesday. We also do interviews on the channel and some other things that are coming up. And I really hope you guys are enjoying the things that we're trying to bring to the channel and to the podcast game. So I appreciate you guys. And we're also on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and many other places. Make sure you guys, if you want to listen to this on the go, get it on the podcast too. And it really helps out. So thank you guys so much for all of this. You guys are definitely appreciated for everything that you do for this podcast as well. You're a big part of it. Match 1, shall we? The Universal title match kicks off the show. Hell in a Cell I Quit match with Roman Reigns with Paul Heyman versus Jey Uso. This has been what I've been looking forward to. And I'm going to be quite honest with you guys. If you don't know, like, I have always been a Roman Reigns fan. You can go back, check the footage. I have many old shows uploaded onto this channel. Always been a Roman Reigns fan. But I feel like now everybody is starting to see it, and it's justified. And I think the character he's playing is 10 million times better than what he was doing before as a babyface. Roman Reigns as a heel is absolutely crushing it. Crushing it. And I literally cannot wait to talk about this match. I was really looking forward to this match and one other one, like, on this card, and that's what I was here for, most definitely. So in the beginning, Jey Uso comes out. He's rocking all white gear. I thought it was kind of very symbolistic, we'll say, for him to come out in the all white gear. Roman Reigns comes out with an all white glove on that's gold. And he also comes out in his usual attire with Paul Heyman, and he is ready to destroy, it looks like. There's a lot of talking in this match, too, between these two. Just a lot of jaw-jacking back and forth, which was very important to all of this. What's up, Connor? Thank you for joining us as well. I see you guys in the chat. Sick just said best version of Roman Reigns, period. 100% agree, Sick. 100% agree. So, in the setup of all of this, We have seen Jey Uso last month at Night of Champions. He got a title shot. His brother threw in the towel because he didn't want to see him get pummeled anymore by Roman Reigns. But he said that he would have beat Roman, so this has led to a rematch inside Hell in a Cell. And Roman said he wants to hear Jey Uso say, "I quit." So this is how this match has been built up. Phenomenal build. They've been doing a lot of teasing back and forth for this. We start off early on. Roman Reigns hits a spear on his cousin. And he's just like, I know one spear is not going to be enough. That's not going to do it. And Jey looks for offense, but Roman is there to stop him. Roman is dominating this contest early on. And right after, what do we get? Another spear. The spear happens once again. Roman Reigns is on the offense, and he is just smiling and just letting his cousin know he's the head of the table. He is the alpha male in the family, and he is going to be the reason the family can eat. Dude, crazy. Thanks, Rob. Rob said big numbers on the Bound for Glory review. If you guys haven't, make sure you check that out. Definitely. The offense just keeps happening. Another spear. Roman then goes for a third spear, but he eats a kick to the face, a super kick, and then the Uso splash from the top rope. Now, we see a second Uso splash right after that, and we have Jey then going to the outside and getting a leather strap and chair. He has the leather strap, and Roman's not wearing the vest anymore. He's not wearing a shirt underneath. He is shirtless. And Jey Uso whooped this man like he brought home a bad progress report and a note from the teacher. He went to work on Roman Reigns' back with the leather strap. And I got to admit, man, these sounded brutal. I don't know if it was just the way the strap was designed or what, but they sounded brutal. He went down, and it was just crazy what they ended up doing here. And eventually, Roman Reigns hits that third spear. He uses the strap to his advantage, hits the spear, and now Reigns gets the strap, and he is whipping Jey like a government mule, as JR would say. He is just beating him too, like I don't know, like he disrespected someone in the grocery store. I don't know what was going on with these two, but they were laying him in thick with the strap shots. So eventually, Jey is turned over onto his back, and Roman whips him across his chest in the stomach area, like brutal. I couldn't imagine getting hit in like the stomach with a belt, like just a shot out of nowhere like that. And eventually, we see Jey Uso and Roman link up with the straps around the wrist. He uses it around his wrist to make sure that Jey can't go anywhere. When he's trying to roll out, he's like, nope, you're not going anywhere. And eventually, Jey sees him going for the Superman punch, and he moves out of the way but uses the strap to his advantage, takes down Roman, and begins to choke him with his own arm that he locked the strap on with. And Roman Reigns is fading. At this point in the match, I'm not going to lie, I got a little scared. I was like, what are they doing right now? Is Roman Reigns really about to lose to Jey Uso? Great teaser spot here, but Jey's been beat down a lot of the match from the offense, we've said. He eventually falls over and said, did he give up? Did he quit? And the ref says, no, he didn't. This leads to Roman Reigns eventually just trying to get up, trying to get back into the match, and he gets the guillotine choke locked in on his cousin. Jey is starting to fade. He goes down eventually, and he just lets him go, and he's like, no, that's not it. That's not enough. And he uses his drive-by drop kick that he does all the time on the apron. Boom, catches him right on the chin. And then he picks up the stairs, and he puts the stairs next to his head while his head is wedged between the stairs and the ring post, and drop kicks that into it. Now the referee's becoming involved in this. He's going, oh, come on, Roman, that's your cousin, man. You got to stop this. And, dude, we get one of the best lines of the night, and I have to look at my notes for this. Afterwards, we see that the referee says, like, I'm going to end this. I can't have you guys continue this anymore because he just took a shot to the head with the steel stairs. And the ref says, I'm going to end it. And then the ref goes, he's out. And then Roman Reigns says, no, you're out, and throws the referee over the top rope and gets rid of him. Roman Reigns is the man. I love that he did that. More officials end up coming out. We have like all of the, the usual stooges. Noble, Buck comes out with them. Who else did we see? Adam Pearce. He's getting lots of TV time lately, and not a bad thing. I'm just saying. And they're all out there just like, hey, what's going on? And Roman Reigns looks at all of them like, get out of the ring. And they all scramble. He is the king around here. Definitely reminds me of Black Panther a lot, with Roman Reigns just saying like, this is my kingdom and nobody's going to stop me. And I absolutely love it. Hopefully some of you guys can appreciate the Marvel references sometimes that come up in all of this. But if you've never seen the Black Panther movie, highly recommend it. And when you see who's the heel in that movie, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about with Roman Reigns. He just clears everybody out like, yeah, back up. I'm in charge now. And eventually we get Roman Reigns putting the stairs on Jay. He brings him back into the ring. He's on top of him, talking to him with the stairs on his neck. Then he flips the stairs around, though, and he's getting ready to end him. And here comes Jimmy Uso flying through the cage and laying on top of his brother. He's like, stop, man, stop. We can't keep doing this, man. Why are you doing this? We're family. Whatever. And Roman Reigns is on the guilt trip, and he drops the stairs. And Roman Reigns begins to cry. Roman Reigns feels bad about everything that's been happening here. And he's crying after Jimmy's yelling at him. And Reigns says he doesn't know what he's doing right now. And Jimmy's like, yo, listen, forget Paul. We can link back up. We can be the team like we once were together. You see the hand slap. Like, we're good, right? We're good, brother. And he then uses the hand slap and pulls him into a guillotine choke of his own. And this is right next to Jey Uso. And he sees Jimmy being choked out because Jimmy had knee surgery. So I'm sure they didn't want to do the guillotine choke that way. He's cranking it. He's choking him. And Jey sees this. He's like, yo, let my brother go. Let my brother go. And he has no choice but to say, let him go. I quit. And that's how Jey Uso quits for his brother Jimmy. He says, I quit. He didn't want to see his brother get the beatdown anymore. And just crazy, man. I really like this. Roman crying in this, showing off his acting skills. Those new veneers, bro. I'm telling you, the man is going Hollywood. He knows what he needs to do. He's going the same route The Rock went. He's just in that Hollywood stage right now, I think. And we got this match happening. And, dude, 45 minutes went by in the opening contest, and I did not realize it. WWE, this is how you book a match. I love this. I don't know if it was Vince. I don't know if it was Bruce. I don't know if it was someone else on creative. Whoever thought of this, maybe it was Mr. Heyman. Bravo to you. And in this match, by the way, Paul Heyman definitely looked like the parent of a bully watching all this happen. Like, you got to do something, Paul. And he's just sitting there like, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Just sitting there like, dude, get your kid. And I just laughed when I saw that. Paul Heyman did like nothing, but he added so much to this match just being on the outside with his facial expressions. What's the grade for this match? Don't forget, the scale is down below if you guys want to know what the grade is. Bro, simple. A+ for this match. I don't know when the last time I gave a WWE match an A+ that was on the main card, but A+ for this match. It was absolutely amazing. I love every aspect of this, and I thought it was great. And I know some of you are going to come in here maybe saying, like, he's tripping. I don't care. I thought this was a great match. And then after the match, bro, Roman goes up the ramp with Paul Heyman, and Alpha and Sika are at the top of the ramp. The Wild Samoans from early WWF days, and they put on the lei over Roman Reigns' neck and basically crown him head of the table. Yo, how would you feel if you just got your ass whooped by your cousin and then you see your family like anointing him the boss of all this? Disrespectful as hell to the Usos, but who knows where the story is going to go from here. Really cool though. Alpha and Sika passing the torch to Roman. Roman looks like a legitimate threat right now, and this is what I want. This is exactly what I want. And I'm telling you guys this right now. Mark it down. October 25th, 2020 at 10:20 p.m. I told you this. Roman Reigns will be the biggest babyface when it's time to turn, when all is said and done. All right? Let us go into what people are saying here in the match. Ace, I see you put the A+ as well. Derek put the hating ass C-. Come on, Derek. Come on, D. Brian Walsh in the house. He said B+ for this. Ooh, come on, Brian. We got to bump that up to an A, I think. So many skills were shown in this. Great storytelling. Sick came in and said, "Nah, I agree. A plus. I don't watch WWE that much these days, but every now and again I see a rivalry on Twitter that makes me go, this looks cool. Much respect, Sick." Jocelyn says, cynical, methodical, and genius. I thought the tears were hilarious, but well played. Dude, well done. To cry on the spot like that after being in a match? Crazy. Sean Harrington says, I agree. The Rock versus Reigns would be incredible for WrestleMania. Could it start at Survivor Series with The Rock making an appearance, but Roman beats The Rock down, maybe with help from the reluctant Usos forced? Potentially. Derek, shut up, dude. I see you in the chat. Derek's gonna definitely have to explain that to me. Original Biggie said, a story done right. Like, damn, bro. Look, we're just getting into 20 minutes of this, and we just discussed one match. That's how great this was. And I thought it was great. Like I said, A+ for this. Moving forward, though, with this match here. Brian Walsh said, have to disagree. Bad acting and too much talk. I thought with pro wrestling, though, I think that was one of the things you had to use to your advantage with the Thunderdome, Brian. I think that, how do I want to put this? With Roman Reigns and Jey Uso having like that quietness in the background, and they've been using that WWE like 2K crowd noise a little bit, like the the generic, like everybody's using the NFL, NBA, NHL, whoever. They've all been using it. It's just been good, man. It's just been good. Malik Murray said, do you think Roman Reigns should bring back the World Heavyweight Championship? He could. I would be happy to see just a different looking title on TV. I would be cool with that. Roman definitely has plenty to say in this story, I think is what he was trying to say. Hubbard comes in here. Sean says, sometimes great storylines can go too far. Yes, they can. I don't think it was bad acting, honestly. Big Gold was the most beautiful title ever made. Retiring it was a mistake. Let's see here. Brian Walsh said, needed a live crowd. Agree. I respect it, Brian. You know I respect your opinion, bro. You always come in with the fire, so I can definitely respect that. Let's move into the next match, though. We have Elias, and he comes out singing a song, and we have Elias versus Jeff Hardy here. This feud, to me, I'm going to just say it, comes off as very dumb, in my opinion. Not dumb as far as the people in it and the people. I just think that the reasons behind it don't make sense. Jeff Hardy supposedly had a car accident with Elias. Elias gets taken out, whatever. He goes away for a little bit for an injury in the real world, and he comes back. Jeff Hardy then stays on, feuds with Sheamus, and when the feud's over with Sheamus, here comes Elias. He's back, and now he wants to beat up Jeff. Why? You know Sheamus set it up. You know what happened, and Elias is basically like, I don't care, I want to fight Jeff. Whatever, dude. I'm just saying that the premise behind this doesn't make sense to me. That's just my thoughts. What I'm going to say here is Jeff misses a big dive. Elias hits a nice spin powerbomb on Jeff. Whisper in the wind for a 2 count. Twist of fate. Swanton, but Elias rolls to the outside before the Swanton could get hit. And Elias goes to get his guitar, but Jeff ends up using the guitar. DQ win for Elias. See, I'm done talking about that match. I did not like it. Was not a fan. I'm sure this will continue on SmackDown, or excuse me, Raw now. I'm sure this will continue on Raw since they had the draft. I forgot. Yeah, it was what it was. Meh. Okay, cool. Moving forward. Look, I'm going back into the chat real quick here. It looks like people are still talking about this. Hubbard comes in. Sean says, I'm an educated fan. I get where this is going, but the Usos need a massive push now to regain what they need to be considered legitimate. Sean, I'm going to say this about the Usos. I think the Usos are going to join up with Roman and get that push. I think the Usos are going heel, though, to get it. I think they're going to say, you know what, we want to eat too, and the only way for us to eat is to get with Roman. I think Roman's been so dominant that they're like, you know what, for the family to continue to succeed, we need to join up with him. That's how I see it, at least for right now. Derek comes in with who wants to walk with Elias. Come on, D. Let's see here. Usos are just going to be tag team champions. I don't see them getting any further. I think there's still something to be said about that, though. I think the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams right now that they have in WWE, them in the New Day. So they're going to definitely get pushed, but they have an important role within the company, I feel. Sean Harrington says, I always hope Sami Zayn was responsible for the accident setting up Jeff, who stole his spot as IC champion and had red hair, supposedly. Perhaps. I think, I don't know. I think that they can let that just go away. I like Sami as the IC champion right now, though. I think he's been doing a great job as an unsung hero for the Smackdown brand. Let's see here. Sean says, Jey Uso could have won the world title at Rumble or Mania if they didn't want to make him look so weak. Now he may never get a world title run. Is that good for business? I think so. I don't think it hurts them. I think the Usos are positioned as one of the top tag teams within the company. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. I think once Jimmy gets back, we're going to see this storyline get a boost. It's just, when is that going to happen? Shabazz said, dumb match, stupid feud. Same with Miz and Otis, which is the next match that we have to get into. So let's talk about it. We saw Otis and Tucker backstage for an interview. Otis kind of did like some of his funny stuff in the beginning of this, but he said, he got serious and he was kind of like, Miz sent Mandy to Raw, Miz sent Tucker to Raw, and he's used all of his politicking to get whatever he wants. And he said tonight he's going to have to deal with me. And he kind of got serious at the end, and I like that. Otis versus Miz. Otis puts up his Money in the Bank briefcase on the line versus the Miz. So they did one of these wrestlers court angles on SmackDown. Did I hate it? No. Did I like it? I wasn't enthused about it either. We've seen this before. We've seen WWE do this. So as far as what they did here, it wasn't bad. It was just a weird way to set up everything to kind of explain like, oh, JBL made a match between them for Wrestlers Court. Whatever. If that's how they decided to handle it, cool. I don't know what we're getting from this. Otis with Tucker, Miz with John Morrison. Otis has a new theme. And I always feel weird about new themes when people come out with them because I always at first don't like them compared to the original. But this one kind of grew on me a little bit. And I was just like, this one's all right. And the jury's still out on it. I'm not giving it the stamp of approval yet. But I think it's going to work for him as a singles. So we'll see what they do with this. Eventually in the match, Morrison gets thrown out. He does something stupid. I missed part of this. And in the match, the finish comes when Otis gets thrown into the ropes and the ref is distracted by The Miz, and Tucker hits Otis with the briefcase. Tucker turns. I think I saw Ace and Derek call this before. What? Unbelievable. So Tucker turns on Otis and Miz covers him 1, 2, 3. Miz is once again Mr. Money in the Bank. We saw the same thing 10 years ago. And I don't know what's going to happen. Let me see here. But now we have people coming in the chat celebrating. The whole Miz and Otis feud has been based on flawed logic, Brian Walsh says. Listen, I'm not mad. A lot of people are in here just thinking they weren't fans of this at all. We gave the Jeff Hardy Elias match a C. This one, it was real close, but I have to give it a C+ for what the story is that they were trying to tell here, from the after effects and everything too. So Miz and Morrison are cutting a promo. Tucker's in the background, and Tucker basically says he always felt second place to Otis. He never really focused on the tag team once he started winning stuff, and he got Mandy, and he's the reason he asked Mandy out. So Tucker kind of felt left behind. Otis comes in, knocks Miz and Morrison down, and like they scatter, and then Tucker and Otis start to brawl, but then it eventually gets broken up, and Otis is just yelling. We'll see where this goes. They're on different brands. How are they going to fight? Maybe at Survivor Series? The jury's still out, like I said, with the new music and where the storyline's going. So, I don't know here. Let's see. Original Biggie just said why. I don't know if that was to what Brian said with the whole flawed logic. Sean Harrington said, Brian, it's the WWE universe of madness. It doesn't fit in our real world. It is alone among itself in its own universe where logic and common sense doesn't exist. Harsh, boys. But I can't fully disagree with everything being said too. We move on. to the next match. And this is one I was looking forward to talking to. When I said I was looking forward to another match, this is it. Benjamin Handshoe, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, brother. Thank you so much. The SmackDown Women's title in the Hell in a Cell. And I have to drink some water real quick in this. So if you hear this being quiet on the podcast, excuse me. All right. Sasha Banks versus Bayley. Now, I've probably never mentioned this before, but in my opinion, Sasha Banks and Bayley have the greatest women's match in the WWE, in my opinion. That first match that they had with each other was great, and I've been wanting to see them feud for years since this happened. I know they had the Iron Woman match, which was great. Shout out to Sasha making Izzy cry. I know Izzy's training to be a wrestler now. Shout out to you, Izzy. But I thought that was absolutely great that Sasha did that back then. Just a heel move. And we've been waiting, but now the roles are reversed. Bayley has turned heel. And I got to give Bayley a lot of credit. I did not like Bayley as a heel at first. But as we are sometimes as wrestling fans, I was wrong. I was wrong about this. Bayley turning heel was a good thing. She ditched a lot of stuff for her character that a lot of people would not do. And this was fabulous, I think, this match here. Derek is yelling match of the night in right now into the chat. I love it. Benjamin Handshoe says the same thing. Best match of the night. Bayley and Sasha Banks rivalry is over. Thank goodness. Is it though, Ace? Is it over? So let's talk about what happens in this. We know that Sasha Banks has been in 3 Hell in a Cell matches with Charlotte. I love it. I just realized it was all the horsewomen. Becky Lynch and now Bayley. So this is her 3rd one. And she has delivered in all of the previous ones. Can she do it again? Bayley has this long title reign that's been going on for quite some time. And Bayley comes out with the steel chair, the same one that she used supposedly to beat down Sasha after they lost their tag match. And the chair has an X on it. There's spray painted stuff all over it. It's going to be a setup. So she comes into the cell with the steel chair in hand. They put up the title on the line, and the cage is getting lowered onto them. And during it, she's holding the chair, and Sasha doesn't want to rush in right away. But the moment that Bayley looks away, Sasha drop kicks the chair out of her hand, and it is like launched right outside where the cell door is going to be. So after all of this happens, it's drop kicked out. We see a head scissors into the bank statement, and Bayley finds a way to escape from all of that. And then we see Sasha eventually attempts to go for a baseball slide onto the outside. She misses, gets slammed into the cage or the cell mesh by Bayley. And Bayley eventually gets a kendo stick and eventually tries to hit Sasha with it. Sasha takes it and she throws it out of the cell through the openings and almost hits Michael Cole in the face. It was no longer going to be boss time if that happened. So Michael Cole is missed barely by this kendo stick that gets thrown. And dude, we see some another kendo stick shot blocked as they grabbed another one. Knee to the face of Bayley. Absolutely devastating. Looked like she caught part of that for real. Sasha gets a table out there using it as a weapon. It reminds me of the WWE 2K games. The table is just being slammed into Bayley as she is going up against the mesh. While she is against the mesh, the table is set up on the legs on one side and the other side is down. She runs up Meteora right to her face against the mesh. Fabulous. Really great stuff from Sasha. Sasha really puts her body on the line in these matches, I've noticed, and it makes it great, man. Makes it great. So eventually we get this whole cell being used kind of as a launching pad. Like Sasha turned into Spider-Man in my opinion. She was on the cage, she leaps off the cage onto the apron, like she was just going back and forth. And then eventually after scaling it so many times, Bayley gets advantage and she sets up 2 kendo sticks on the outside in between the mesh, or excuse me, in between the stairs and the cell opening. So the stairs have like this little opening point. She puts the kendo sticks in there and sets them up against the cell. And Sasha eventually gets like slammed into them, and she catapults her into them, launching her up into the sticks. Sasha then eventually is down for a little bit. She brings her back into the ring. She gets a 2 count from all of this. Bayley then sets up chairs, and they're wedged into the corner. Sasha eventually does like this move where she head scissors her, but she just slams her face into it, and then she's going for a Meteora into her face into the chair that's behind her in the back of the head, but she doesn't. She misses, stops herself. Bayley hits a sunset flip bomb into the chair. The back of Sasha's head rang off this chair so hard that I hope that the chair was gimmicked, because that looked brutal for Sasha Banks. She looked absolutely hurt in this. And we see after the sunset flip and her back of the head hits the chair, Bayley catches Sasha in between the apron and then just beats the hell out of her with a kendo stick once again, right to her back. Bayley then goes under the ring and gets duct tape out, and she's trying to duct tape 2 kendo sticks together, but whatever her plan is, it doesn't work, and it looks like they're gonna have to call an audible. So Bayley goes into the ring, and when she goes to get Sasha grabs the fire extinguisher and sprays Bayley right in the face with the fire extinguisher. Down goes Bayley. Then later on into all of this, Bayley gets a chair, and here we go. Here comes everything that's happening. The chair that was going to start off in the match. She goes to the outside of the cell, and she can slide the chair in from the way it was positioned. What's going to happen? So the chair has been the story of this match. Very similar to Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio, if you guys remember that feud from, I believe it was 2005. The steel chair was used a lot in that with the promos and everything else. And I think they were calling back to the storyline a little bit here with this part of the match. So eventually the boss fires up, slaps Bayley across the face and says, "You needed me more than I needed you." Sasha then uses the kendo stick on Bayley, just goes to work all over Bayley's back with the kendo stick. Bayley crawls to a chair. Sasha steps on the chair, stomps her, and then she turns over, and Sasha's going for the frog splash. She goes to the top, hits the frog splash, but Bayley grabbed the chair and put it over her chest. So they're both laid out now. The impact from the frog splash hurts Bayley. Bayley's down. Sasha's down. We're waiting to see what's going to happen here. And then we see Bayley set up a ladder in between 2 steel chairs. Very unique. The offense in this one is definitely getting a great grade from me. Like the way they were using steel chairs, ladders, and all the weaponry. She sets up the steel chair the ladder in between the 2 chairs. With all of this happening, Bayley puts Sasha on top of it and sprays paints an X on her body. She's wearing all white gear, so you can see the X show up, and X marks the spot just like on the chair. So she grabs that steel chair and she comes off the top with her elbow, but Sasha moves. Bayley hurts her elbow. Down goes Bayley. Sasha has rolled out of the way, and then we see Sasha hit a belly to Bayley on Bayley for a 1, a 2, and Bayley kicks out. Everybody's like, "Whoa, what just happened here?" That's how Sasha lost the belt to her in NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. So the kick out there, big. And after the kick out, we see a bank statement blocked by Bayley. She hits a big knee to Sasha's head. Bayley then hits the belly to Bayley on the Sasha for the 1, 2. Sasha kicks out now. After Sasha kicks out, we see a chair. She puts it on Sasha Banks' back after hitting her a couple times with it. She's going to do a belly to Bayley with the steel chair, but Sasha reverses out of it. And she eventually comes around, and Sasha's back does not get hit onto it. The chair is right next to her. She gets the bank statement, but she pulls the chair around Bayley's head, and she is able to then have the chair around her head, and she's got the bank statement locked in, and she is stomping the chair onto Bayley's neck as it's happening. And during it, Bayley just taps out. What a remarkable match from these 2 women. They've done it again. Another instant classic for me. Dude, I can't believe it. This was a great match with everything that was happening here. So good, very innovative, like Brian Walsh just said in the chat. Another A+ match. Two A+ on a WWE show. What is happening? I loved it. This match delivered. I would highly recommend anyone go out of their way at this point in the show to see the opening match with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso and Sasha and Bayley. Recommend it, bro. I'm telling you. Let's go to the chat right now. You guys have been talking up a storm, and I have to admit that I love it. let's see here. Sick comes in, and Ace, I agree. I must have missed something. He said, just joking. Y'all know WWE won't let Sasha hold on to the title for too long for some reason. She'll be a 4-time Smackdown Women's Champion before Survivor Series. I hope not, Sick. I hope this is actually a reign where she gets it. Let's see here. Ace is saying Becky is the GOAT in the chat. Jocelyn says, I have to watch this match again. Whoever controls the crowd for the Dome was giving instructions, so I couldn't focus. Ugh. Yeah, the worst when you hear those things like happening on these shows now. But I try to look past it. I think I heard it a couple times in other matches, Jocelyn, but for sure. Leading to the one-on-one rematch at Mania being Sasha defending against Bayley and Banks having to try to defend the belt successfully and finally does it at Mania. That would be well done, Sean. Brian Walsh says, definite A+, beautiful match. See, we agree on this one. We agree on this one, Brian. So I appreciate that. And if you guys know what's coming up next, there was a promo between the Hurt Business and Retribution that was coming up. But if you guys are thinking about how can we get Retribution, there's only one way. Manscaped.com. You guys can get your Retribution by purchasing that Lawnmower 3.0. Is it expensive? Perhaps. But I think your family jewels deserve the expense. You guys want to make sure you have the right tools to maintain, and Manscaped and Everything Pro Wrestling has your back. You guys can go to Manscaped and get yourselves the Lawnmower 3.0. Get yourselves the foot deodorant while you're at it. It's definitely well worth it. You know what's coming up. Basketball season. You got those games. Your feet are in the shoes. Foot deodorant would be great. We also have the ball deodorant, and that's good for all year round. So make sure you guys get that. The ball toner, the cologne, the boxers, as you guys can see on the screen right here. They have so many things, and they have your back covered. So make sure you guys go to manscaped.com and show some love. And if you guys want one more promo code, we've got you for that too. Make sure you guys go to powerslam.tv, promo code EPW show once again, and you guys can put that code in and get 1 free month of independent wrestling on your boys. Check out some of your favorite indie wrestlers that you don't know about. Maybe discover some new ones. So put that promo code in and tell powerslam.tv that we sent you. And I have to give a big shout out to 2 of our friends in the podcasting world. First, we're giving a shout out to Sean Hubbard, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Make sure you guys check him out on Twitter. Sean puts up some amazing episodes. I love doing the retro reviews with him, especially where we look back at kind of wrestling from when we were kids and kind of the beauty of it, and try to like just remind everyone of it, and then maybe teach some younger audience members what we grew up with as kids and why it's important. So I think that's definitely something that you guys should want to check out. Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. Also, everything college basketball. My boys, Josh Burton and Peyton Burton, they've got you covered with all the latest and greatest in college hoops. And Jesse from the Pro Wrestling Shoot, got to show my boy some love. Make sure you guys check him out. He's on Spotify and Apple Podcast as well, like everyone else. Show him some love, man. Now, here's the part where we got to get sad again. The Hurt Business and Retribution, man. Retribution, excuse me. What is this, dude? So basically they agreed on the pre-show that they would send a member each against each other. Bobby Lashley is the person for the Hurt Business, and Retribution, it is decided that Slapjack would be the one after Shelton Benjamin picks him. The name Slapjack is utterly ridiculous in and of itself, but whatever. It's what they do. And what's good, Rockstar? I don't think I shouted you out before. Dude, this Retribution stuff, I don't know what we're doing here. So here's what happens. The match is going to happen, and then for some reason it becomes for the U.S. title. The stakes get raised. So Bobby Lashley is defending the United States Championship against a man named Slapjack in a very poor Casey Jones mask. Shout out to Casey Jones from the Ninja Turtles. We're getting a lot of other cultural references into all of this tonight. So if you're a Ninja Turtles fan, I'm sure you would appreciate that. Dude, this match was weird. It didn't fit. The best moves in this were Bobby Lashley's slam and the absolute destruction of those slams where people just jump up. Lashley one-hands and slams them down. Reminds me of the old Farouk Spinebuster. If you guys have never seen that, put it in. Well worth it. But He puts in the hurt lock, slapjack, slap nuts, whatever his name is. He taps out, and we are left with all of this happening once again. But where is Retribution? Here comes the boys. Here comes everybody running down to the ring from T-Bar and Mace, whatever, and Ali's with them. And you see Mia Yim. I don't even know what her name is. She's on the outside for all of this. And the Hurt Business go face to face with the rest of them. And Ali just leaves. Like, they leave. They retreat. Retribution looks like chumps is what I'm trying to say at the end of the day. They look like chumps. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. Why? Why? Why do we do this? This is what I was talking about with Ali. Like, I had hope when Ali was first revealed, and since then, week by week, they have done absolutely nothing with him. It sucks. I don't know what's the long-term goal here, but C- for this match. Worst match on the card, in my opinion. Did not like it. And this is stupid. This was real close to D+ range. Like, I promise you. It was up there. I wanted to, but I have to give Lashley the respect for his effort that was in this. He tried, but this storyline just sucks. I don't think Hurt Business are baby faces. I saw a bunch of people asking that on social media. I don't see them as baby faces, but we got to do better than this, WWE. Sean has some other names that I will not repeat in the chat, but I see them. Ace just said F- for this. WWE doesn't do long term. I wish they would. Reckoning was Mia's name. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like the female performers that they put into this. It's stupid in my opinion. Not a fan. We find out that at Survivor Series, I've mentioned this before, but it's 30 years of The Undertaker being in the wrestling business. He debuted at the Survivor Series in 1990 with the $1 Million Man and Brother Love bringing him in. Very dope. If you guys don't even remember, his name was originally Kane the Undertaker. 30 years of the Undertaker at Survivor Series. It'll be cool to celebrate that. Hopefully they don't try to get Taker back into the ring from all of this. Don't know, man. Don't know what they're doing here, but I'm just glad that Taker's being celebrated at this point, right? Benjamin asks, who is being helped by this? Good sir, nobody. I mean, I guess TV time it helps, but F for fuck they do it with Retribution. Not mad at it, guys. I'm not mad at it. Like I said, I respect the effort put in by the performers. I just don't like the storyline that's behind all of this. Just for me. Just my opinion on this. And it's main event time, guys. Let's bring it in with the WWE title Hell in a Cell match. Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre get the Hell in a Cell main event spot, which I was surprised by this. I definitely thought it would have went to Sasha and Bayley. That's how I would have booked it, at least. Roman and Jay in the beginning, Sasha and Bayley to end it. Let me see here. Let's get into... Rockstar just brought up he only cares for Ali. I agree with the Retribution. It sounds like a lot of people in the chat are disappointed with all of this too. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. Drew's making his entrance, and I don't know where Randy came from. He's just rocking all black. He's wearing like pants and a weird shirt. He looks like a crew member, and he just comes over and attacks Drew from out of nowhere. But Drew saw it coming, and these two begin to brawl in the Hell in a Cell. Eventually, Drew gets him into the cell itself and locks the door, and the bell rings. So these two are at it. With all of this, Orton uses a chair on Drew's leg and jaw. This match was very like slow, plotty, and methodical. And I think if you've been watching Randy Orton wrestle long enough, you know that's what his match is. He's just very slow. They're going through the things. So whatever. He eventually hits Drew in the leg with the chair. He pushes the chair onto Drew's jaw, which was playing off the fact that he injured Drew's jaw previously to this. Orton grinds the face against the cell, and he's kind of laughing and everything else. He's trying to get the facial reactions that Vince and everyone else likes in the back. So very good stuff. I'm sure these will look great when they release like the pictures for it and everything else. Orton's really good at that stuff. Drew gets thrown into some stairs after that, and McIntyre finds life with some over-the-head belly-to-belly suplexes. He hits Orton with several of them, just tossing him over the head. Another one tosses Orton over the head. And we see that they go to the outside here. And when they were brawling in the beginning, they did undress the announcer's table. We all know what we're talking about. They rip off the top. They clear off the pencils. Me and Derek are always worried that one day a pencil is going to get stuck in somebody's back because they forgot to push it off. The announcer table gets cleared, but nothing happens to it except for people getting slammed off of it a couple times earlier. So you see them in the cage, and Drew's on offense afterwards, and he stands up and he's kind of taunting, but you see that the announcer table is still there, so something has to be happening with that, right? As a wrestling fan. So afterwards, Drew over the head belly to bellies Orton, Drew belly to bellies Orton again. We see a low blow from Orton, and Orton eventually, the belly to belly, the last one from Drew, Orton went through a table. We see the bolt cutters get busted out, and he ends up cutting the lock on the door. Orton goes to the outside. He climbs up the cage. Exactly what we wanted. This reminds you of playing, like I said, the old wrestling video games. You know someone's climbing to the top. Come on up. Drew decides, you know what? I'm coming up there. And when he finally gets up there, Orton has hidden a red pipe up there to match along the Hell in a Cell, which I hate the color of the Hell in a Cell, by the way. Great match, but I hate the color of it. It makes it very weird and hard to see. But he's got the red pipe in his hand. Drew knocks him down, but Orton uses the pipe to hit Drew in the leg and knocks him down. And then eventually Orton's trying to get off the cage to get out of there, skedaddle, and Drew follows him down. And Drew and Orton are battling, but Drew gets knocked off the cell and goes through the table. Back first, hard bump for Drew right there. And Drew's mouth is eventually bleeding. So his mouth is bleeding. He's got blood coming out of him. And they're like, oh, he might have internal injuries and everything else. So Orton knows he needs to get Drew into the ring to go for the pinfall. So he puts him back in through the cell. He drags him into the ring. And he looks like he's getting ready to go for the RKO here. And he goes for it, but it gets blocked by Drew McIntyre. And he goes for the backslide, similar to SummerSlam. 1, 2, he kicks out of it, and eventually he hits him with the Claymore kick, and Orton rolls to the floor. So Drew now has second life into him. What's going to happen here? And McIntyre is setting him up once again. He throws him back in after that Claymore kick. He's like, he's got to hit one more. Drew is waiting in the corner for Orton to get up. And when he goes for that Claymore kick, Orton ducks. Drew bites the mat really hard. He misses completely. RKO is landed on Drew McIntyre. Orton goes for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Randy Orton is your new WWE champion on Monday Night Raw. I gave this a grade of a B. While watching all of this, I couldn't help but think 10 years ago when Miz won Money in the Bank, he cashed in on Randy Orton. I thought to myself, maybe we could see the same thing again tonight. They didn't go with that. And I thought if Drew won, Miz was definitely cashing in. But Orton pulls out the victory here. And I think Derek brought this up to me. Edge has to be getting ready to lurk once again into another match with Orton soon. And by soon, I mean in a couple months. I think at Mania, we're going to see the rematch between Edge and Randy Orton. Could it be for the WWE Championship? Or maybe is this how the feud gets going once again? I don't know, but Edge is coming back sooner rather than later, and I think he's got to have one more match with Orton before they end that feud. Let's see what you guys are thinking here. Sean Harrington said he was dressed up like the camera guy. Malik Murray said, do you think Drew McIntyre needs to bring back Broken Dreams as a theme? Good question, Malik. I absolutely love that theme, but I think it's best to be left in the past at this point. I love it, though. I think you could use it maybe for like a WrestleMania entrance, like to do something really cool with it. But for right now, I'm okay with the new Drew. I think Drew has proven himself, too, with this. Randy trapped Drew tonight, Ace says. Yes, he definitely did. That's what the Viper does best when it comes into this. Sean says, I hated the finish because they already did the same finish on Raw in a tag match. Exact same finish. Story-wise, could have ended with a punt. This is true if you wanted to write Drew off for a little bit. Drew took the Vince McMahon bump without breaking his tailbone. True. I think that Randy Orton should make a new evolution. They could have him start a new faction. It would depend on who you want to put into it now. Anyone remember the Miz's last title run? ... Exactly. Don't nobody want to see that, Six said. listen, I'm not saying I wanted to see it. I just thought about the moment when he cashed in on him back before WrestleMania 27. Yeah, interesting. So, what's the overall grade for this show going to be? And I can't help, but I'm going to go with an A-. The 2 A+ matches will help elevate this show. I definitely think all the Hell in a Cell matches were worth it. I think they broke the 2-year curse that they had going with them of bad Hell in a Cell pay-per-views, to where people were on the YouTube wrestling community or podcasts raging about what happened. A- for this. Rob is calling it now Survivor Series Team Orton versus Team McIntyre. Okay. I like it. Overall grade though, A- for this one. I thought that it was a lot of fun for what we had here. The show was good. I know that it's probably like a 2 or 3 match show. And there was a C+, a C, and a C-, but I don't think that was enough to bring this down, because I wanted to say it was in a B+ range, and I think if we didn't have 2 A's on here, it would be like a B or a B+. But I'm going to give it an A-, man, for the 2 great matches, from the opener to Sasha Banks and Bayley. This was a phenomenal show, and I would recommend people go out of their way, like I said, to see the Hell in a Cell matches, at least those 2. Like, watch them. I'm pretty sure we'll be talking about them at the end of the year when me and Rob are doing our categories for who should win what awards, and we usually do a show together just talking about it and everything else. Original Biggie comes in and says, I think the booking could have been better, but we all know this is how we'll end up, Orton and Cena at WrestleMania. Ooh. Yeah, they do have the feud over like who's got the closest to Ric Flair's record. I think Orton is now 1 away. I don't know if he's a 15-time champ or 14. But let's see here. Sean says, I would do Edge and Orton at Royal Rumble. Edge as champion going into Mania slowly goes heel, getting obsessed with keeping it, and Drew faces Edge at Mania. Edge puts Drew over to give him the Mania win in front of people. That would be dope. PR Nightmare in the house says, choke out EPW. What's up, PR? Cena is trapped in the fun house. He may be stuck in there forever. Sean Harrington said this was title reign 14 for Orton. Okay. I believe it. Biggie comes in. All right, so everybody's yelling 14 at me. All right, 14 likes too on the video. Make sure if you guys are watching this after the fact, you hit me with that like button. Also, leave comments down below if you guys watch this after the fact. I always try to reply to everybody in the comment section, especially if you come up with a thought later, something from Raw that you wanted to talk about. Just come right into this video, leave me a comment, and I will try to answer it for you. Cena has 16, Orton has 14. Thank you so much, Adula. I hope if I said your name wrong, I apologize. Adula said that in the chat, so thank you. Welcome to hell, WWE. Yeah, good show tonight, guys. But if you guys want to help out everything pro wrestling, here's what we're going to do. Make sure, number one, you hit the subscribe button. We're going to have some videos, hopefully, within the next day or 2 coming up for you guys. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled on the channel for that. Also, we're going to have our AEW Dynamite stream coming up this Wednesday. So if you're a fan of AEW, make sure you keep it locked into here. And don't forget, NXT Halloween Havoc is also this Wednesday. It's the Halloween season, man. So let us know what is happening with you guys for that. Looking forward to Halloween. Always the fun time of the year. Dope, man. Really dope. I appreciate all of you guys coming in here, talking some pro wrestling with me. We had a bunch of people helping out. Thank you. We're at 17 likes now. Now we've broken Flair's record. Appreciate it, even though he's really like a 20-something time world champion. You guys are awesome. Absolutely love all of you guys who come in here. And shout out to the mods. I know the mods get a little bit of extra work. Ace, Original Biggie. And if anybody else ever wants to be a mod, if we're missing one in the chat, just let me know and I'll try and hook somebody up with it, especially if it's someone like that I trust. I can't wait, man. Like I said, hit me in the DMs if you want to be a mod. And other than that, guys, thank you so much, man. Lastly, Bills 5-2, but looking bad. Hey. Listen, a dub's a dub right now. We're taking what we can. All right? I'm happy with the win today, even though it was all field goals. 5-2 is 5-2, right, Biggie? But make sure you guys join us the next time we come on here to talk pro wrestling. For myself, Conrad Cushman, and the rest of the Everything Pro Wrestling family, thank you for watching this video. We appreciate you, and we are out. Peace.
Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes. By the fans, for the fans, not many in this can understand, this the podcast to show you who I am, Conrad Cushman, the legend in the plans, please listen every day to the showcase, the opinions and knowledge that anyone can take, showing you how it is done, proving I am number one, what a legend becomes. This is now my time to show you that I am here. This podcast just to make it loud and clear. By the fans, for the fans, not many who's here can understand everything pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast here for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinion and the lesson, yes. Everyday pro wrestling, they can never be you. Listen to the podcast for the people, the best show that's here, so listen in. Let the knowledge begin, the opinions, the lesson, yes.
Are you looking for the newest and hottest in the world of pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 6,000 hours of the best events from over 150 of your favorite promotions from 20 different countries around the globe. Brands like Progress Wrestling, Evolve Wrestling, Combat Zone, Defy, PCW Ultra, PWX, Over the Top, Shine, and hundreds of others with fresh content added every day for only $5.99 per month. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What's going on, EPW Nation? It's your boys from the Everything College Basketball Podcast, Josh and Peyton, here to remind you all that college basketball season is right around the corner. Yes, we finally know it's right around the corner. And Peyton, there's only one place people should go for all the college basketball excitement.
Well, Josh, the only place to find all college basketball hoops all the time is Everything College Basketball. Everything College Basketball can be listened to on several podcast hosting sites like Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. And we can also be found on our Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/Everything College Basketball.
Yes, make sure you are joining the group with a couple other 100 people and growing by the day as we march into year number 3 of the Everything College Basketball networking system. Now, let's get back to Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling.
What's going on, Everything Pro Wrestling listeners? It's your boy Jesse Carter over at the Pro Wrestling Shoot podcast, where we run special interviews with independent wrestlers, also former WWE and TNA stars. Pretty soon we're going to be having the Matt Sydal episode drop, so you need to come and check that out. And you can find us over on anchor.fm/the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Also, we are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere you get your podcasts. The show also covers reviews from old and current events such as pay-per-views, AEW, WWE, whatever you're into nowadays, we will be covering reviews on that. We also have a little bit of music artists join us on the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Also dive into belt collecting and hobbies of all kind. So yeah, as soon as you are finished with Everything Pro Wrestling, why don't you come on over and check it out and tell us what you think. You can follow our Facebook page at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. We are also on Twitter at Carter Inc. That is CARDER INC. Also Instagram at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. You can also find us on YouTube and Twitch. Coming soon, we will be doing live streams of the show on YouTube at the Pro Wrestling Shoot, and same with Twitch at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. All right, Conrad, back to you, and hope you all enjoy the rest of the episode from Everything Pro Wrestling.